important. We'll forget the first 10 minutes against Italy. We weren't quite as sure-footed as we finished the game. We started off, David Beckham, Paul Scholes weren't as impressive as they were later on in the game.
Gazza's back. This by way of an introduction. It's a World Cup rehearsal. The French are trying out various different things. This is to try and liven up the entrance, I think. Next question is, has it worked? Is it working?
It's interesting to see Vieira back in there as well, Richard. Obviously, the French are playing against the English, but Vieira has had an exceptional season with Arsenal. So probably Jacquet is thinking that he'll understand what the middle of the field is going to be all about. And Vieira hasn't looked out of place in our football. A lot of people thought the hustle and the bustle might have sorted him out. But if anything, he's actually grown from strength to strength. He really is a strong character.
The French have lined up there. Where are England? I think it's just some pre-match humour as well, isn't there?
I've had the pleasure of watching that chap, number 15, Thuram, a number of times this year, playing for Parma, Richard. Really is an exceptional defender. So he'll be one to look out for.
Oh, boys look nice and relaxed there, don't they?
I think they look lost. Where are they supposed to be? Oh, there they are. They're lined up now. We're about right. Well, that was different. Not sure it was a success, but it was different. And here are the national anthems. France against England then, as we join Trevor Francis and Martin Tyler.
Thank you, Richard. Good evening, everyone. England flew down here this morning from the Nantes region in high enough spirits already, and they're straight away into another major test. France ranked 4th in the world and on home soil. They've really freshened their side tonight. Only Barthez, Blanc and Deschamps began the game against Brazil, though all 3 substitutes used in Lyon are in from the start tonight, including Arsenal's Patrick Vieira and the goal scorer Marc Keller. They will expect Yuri Djorkaeff to give the team direction, operating behind 2 forwards, Nicolas Wedek and Christophe Dugarry.
Yes, a very attacking lineup and a big responsibility on the captain Deschamps. I think he'll be the most defensive of the midfield players. Vieira will play his natural role as he does for Arsenal, getting forward from box to box. Keller, although on the right-hand side there, he will swap from left to right. Djorkaeff, you mentioned, Martin, is world-class, and he's always a threat to any opposition.
So to bring you right up to date with England, David Seaman back in goal, the same defensive 3 as in Poland, plus Graham Lasseau on the left. Phil Neville keeps his place on the right. David Beckham again more central in midfield, tonight with David Batty and Paul Gascoigne. As you've heard, Gazza's 50th cap. Paul Scholes would have started but isn't fully fit. And Ian Wright's performances against South Africa and Italy have earned him a game alongside Alan Shearer.
Yes, that's the only change I would say in terms of tactical sense. The fact that Wright is up front, 2 of them will play as out-and-out strikers. Possibly Gascoigne may play a bit loose, with Beckham and Batty being the central midfield players. But as I mentioned, Deschamps, a big responsibility for France, and I feel Batty has that for England. he will have to control the big threat that I mentioned of Djorkaeff.
Well, France have only 10 substitutes, from which 3 may be used. Caron were injured early against Brazil. England named the full 11. Rob Lee has been back in full training after toe trouble. And as I say, Paul Scholes, a minor muscle strain, and Martin Keown, a sore shoulder. Well, it's taken Paul Gascoigne the best part of 9 years to reach 50 caps, but for misfortune and misadventure, it would have been many more. But he's very determined to play a part in what is developing into a very competitive England setup. Competitive against the opposition, of course, but very competitive to stay in the side itself. England and France meeting for the first time for 5 years. They drew in Euro 92 in Sweden, but both finished Euro 96 with identical disappointments. The 2 losing semi-finalists, both bowing out on penalties. England came and had a look at the pitch on the way from the airport to the team hotel around midday. And then Hoddle did request for an extra cut to the grass, and it looks as though that request has been met, as we're off for both these sides' second game in the Tournoi. France certainly bounced back from a rather demoralising opening half an hour or so against the brilliance of Brazil, but showed themselves worthy competitors, as you would expect with their record, to get that 1-1 draw. And you all know about what England did to Italy. The stadium has undergone extensive renovation for the World Cup. That's pretty complete now, upgrading to a 35,000 capacity. So here's Gascoigne. David Batty, Paul Ince taking a break from the action tonight. So Campbell back in the team. Beckham had a good look to where Phil Neville had gone forward in that adventurous style of his, but decided that the pass might have been just too ambitious this early in the game. There's Phil Neville really on his way back from where he was when Beckham had the ball. Here's Vieira of Arsenal, Deschamps of Juventus, Keller starting on the left-hand side, Wedek, home support, calling for a free kick. Dugarry, who was tracked by Blackburn Rovers a year or so ago, but chose to go to Italy rather than come to England. He's got a free kick this time. The referee, incidentally, comes from Morocco, which was once under French control, but I'm sure there will be a very neutral official tonight, highly rated by FIFA. So the first test for England here in Montpellier. Dugarry, who is more than useful in the air, and scored in Euro 96 with a header against Romania, you might recall.
It's a nicely flighted ball this from Djorkaeff, found the head of Dugarry. Gets up above Campbell, can't quite direct his header downwards. But already, Martin, we've only played, 2 minutes this game, and already the signs are this is going to be a more difficult game for England than what the other night was in the Italian game.
Well, it's difficult for Barthez here because it wasn't just a case of getting to the ball, it was where was the edge of his area as well. And he performed an awkward task, painfully, but effectively. Beckham's ball that had both Wright and Shearer sprinting forward menacingly. Barthez has dropped to his knees, still feeling the effects of the collision. Djorkaeff, unaware of his goalkeepers in need of a little breather.
Yes, the trainer's just come to the side of the pitch, just asking Barthez if he needs treatment, but I think the signal is no, I think he'll be okay. Very, very touch and go, wasn't it, if he was in or outside the box? Certainly the right decision he made to come for it. I felt that perhaps Peruzzi was a little bit slow coming off his line when Wright got clear for the first goal, but on this occasion Barthez was very, very alert.
Gascoigne. Catching Beckham on the wrong foot. Thursday, incidentally, there was so much rain here that the local fire brigade were put on standby. Not for off-surface water, had that been required. France had to cancel a planned training session on this pitch. But thankfully, although it's remained cloudy, the rain has stopped. And it's a good surface for both these sides to try and produce a performance as well as a result. France very keen to do that. Their results have been excellent. And there's Lasso giving away a free kick, bringing down Thuram.
I just think it was sheer skill that actually beat Lasso there from Thuram. Not a natural right back, as we've seen this season. He plays so often for Parma at the centre of defence.
What a good season he's had in Serie A.
An excellent player, one of the best I would say in Serie A. Tonight playing on the right-hand side as a fullback.
Deschamps' forward ball skimming off the head of Southgate. David Seaman concentrating on getting good distance to the clearance. Ian Wright knows the capabilities of his clubmate. So Wright and Shearer together. Twice they started under Graham Taylor. That was in '92. Once under Terry Venables in '94 when Wright was asked to play in a wider position and really didn't do himself justice. And then he wrote him off as an international after that game. But not Glenn Hoddle. He has a look at a possible partnership here that he can use.
Well, that's a challenge you're going to see quite often tonight. The two of them very, very close together, as you'd expect. Djorkaeff and Batty.
Dugarry. Turning too quickly for Sol Campbell's liking. Not played much this season, Dugarry, because of injury.
Well, just like Lasso, who was beaten for sheer skill from Thuram. This occasion it's Campbell. Little backflip from Dugarry. It's too clever for Campbell. Good situation this for Djorkaeff to exploit.
David Seaman, well, he came and couldn't collect. There was no one, happily for England, attacking a deep free kick.
Well, Patrick Vieira was the closest at the back post. Didn't really go to attack it.
This was where Barthez had to be very sound in his judgment, and he was. You just see it definitely was inside the area. England got free up. Gascoigne with the two you'd expect further forward, but too eager. Gotti brought into France in the back line in place of Desailly, who's not 100% fit. L'Aigle, another the Italian-based Frenchman, as is Deschamps. France, one defeat in 35 internationals, but there's still a national debate, believe it or not, about whether Aimé Jacquet, the coach, is the right man for the job. It's largely because they don't score sufficient quantities of goals to please the fans, and it is, by Jacquet's standards, a very attacking-looking French side tonight that England have got to deal with.
This is the first free kick that England have had, committed a number of fouls themselves. It's a very, very competitive game for a friendly.
A bit fortunate from Thuram that it went to Ngotti, his second effort more successful to get it headed back to Barthez. What do you say, friendly, Trevor? The organisers of Le Tournoi would hope that they would induce competitive play. Certainly competitive France and Brazil, and maybe Italy, the one nation we've seen so far who didn't really set out to compete or couldn't match England's level of competition. They've been critical of some of the way the weight was thrown around. Dugarry slipping.
Well, already there have been a number of challenges which resulted in a free kick. Just wondering how long the referee will continue to give free kicks. Can't be long before he brandishes the yellow card. Certainly a flurry of yellow cards in the second half the other night, wasn't there?
They certainly were, and Hollis had strong words to his players. This is Patrick Vieira, who's not known in French football for the power of his shooting, but the ball broke quite nicely for him then, but he didn't really attack the chance, the aloof player who thought he was going to score.
No, he was looking for the ball just to sit up a little bit more. Otherwise, it would have been a good opportunity to get the volley in on target.
Won by Laurent Blanc, then Batty for England, Gascoigne. Kelly. Here's Gary Neville. The parents of Gary and Philip are in Montpellier as they were in Nantes. Enjoying this England adventure more than most. Again, England's desire to get the ball, but you're quite right, Trevor, the card had to come out sooner rather than later, and it's been shown to David Batty.
Well, I'm not really a betting man, Martin, but I think I've had a few quid on Batty being the first to go into the book. The tackle that he committed on Djorkaeff was very, very close to the mark. On this occasion, I think the referee, right, has given the yellow card for that challenge on Vieira.
Offside. Against Nicolas Wedek, who plays in Spain for Espanyol. Hasn't had much of a season. He, like Dugarry, has spent too much time on the treatment table for the players' liking. But they are looking for the right formula up front, the French, and an opportunity for the two in front of Djorkaeff to show what they can do. They played together in the French under-21 side before. Forward by Philip Neville. Too quickly to Beckham. Back pass wasn't really perfectly designed. Ngozi for Barthez. This one is showing his strength then, but having to play on the retreat. Deschamps with little room to look around. Look for Wedek. Not quite enough weight on the pass.
But a number of England players, Martin, in this early part of the game, being caught in possession of the ball. That's a bad challenge from Deschamps. Some clever play from Gascoigne. Saw Deschamps committed himself, pushed it through his legs.
Quick free kick though from England, and Graham Lasso is on his way here. Shearer pulling to the far post. And right in the penalty area, but no one else there for England. Gascoigne waiting on the edge. Here he is. Right seen off by Blanc, but I must say if England have been late once or twice with tackles, France guilty themselves. Look at this.
And if he actually connected,
Patrick Vieira.
it was a very, very bad challenge.
The sort of challenge that Vieira, I think he got 11 yellow cards, something like that for Arsenal over the season. It was the weakest part of his otherwise very effective first year in English football.
Actually, when the ball was thrown out, Gary Neville ran all of 50 yards to give Vieira a mouthful. It wasn't a very pleasant challenge, and I'm very surprised that the referee elected to allow it to go by. What's happening now? Is he booking Beckham?
Well, David Beckham has been shown a yellow card, and one only assume that technically he's supposed to go off on the stretcher. Can you be booked for that? And if that is the case, well, Beckham will miss the match against Brazil, having been one of 4 England cautions against Italy.
What did I say about this being a friendly? Obviously not in the eyes of the referee.
Referee.
That's ridiculous, Martin, isn't it? It's not entering into the spirit of the tournament, booking a player for that. It's a World Cup game, yes, but it's only a friendly tournament.
Well, the fact is, Vieira should have been booked for the foul. Said Benkola from Morocco. Has something of a reputation in the international game for a brandisher of the cards. And at the moment he's got a difficult game to deal with.
Yes, but he allows it to be like this. The first 3 or 4 minutes, there were a number of tackles that went in, could have been a yellow card. He allowed it to go by. Now he's got himself a difficult game. I have to ask the question as well, what is a referee from Morocco refereeing a game between England and France?
Well, let me tell you that on Tuesday, Brazil against England, according to the official list, has a South American referee from Colombia, which also seems well, unnecessary in the circumstances. Here's Philip Neville. Southgate, whose personal form has really improved for England over the last 2 or 3 games. Campbell looking for Shearer. This was exemplary in Poland, 10 out of 10 for him in that game, 10 goals in the last 10 internationals as well. Vieira. This is Djorkaeff, who likes to operate in that halfway position. There is a school of thought, Trevor, here in France, that he should be the out-and-out striker and that Zidane should play in the playmaking role. But Djorkaeff has said he doesn't want to play there.
But certainly on this occasion here, I'd be very alarmed if I was playing Hodder with the amount of room that he finds himself in. There's not one midfield player within 10 yards of him. It was Campbell that had to come out to try and close him down. It was certainly a good shooting opportunity. It's rather wasted.
Waiting. Reined in by Gary Neville. Philip Neville checking it with Gascoigne. Shearer showing, but England keep it in midfield. Beckham's gone through the centre. Gascoigne helped by Batty. Right. And Graham Masson in a lot of space. Thuram got sucked into the centre, but he had the length of stride to get across. The pass wasn't perfect from England's point of view to get Masson going, but he was waiting and waiting when the ball came. Thuram hit the ground there to get to it.
Certainly Gascoigne didn't get the ball, and I think Thuram did him a favour. Being a defender, he let this down his feet. If he'd gone over, I think Gascoigne may have been in trouble.
Of course, he got booked against Italy as well, and Hoddle would be starting to get a bit short of midfield players if he's suspended on Tuesday night as well. Southgate. Certainly in the French press there's been a lot of complimentary things written about England. They've tended to rather look down their noses at our football. The old expression, kick and rush, is often thrown at you. England's far more sophisticated these days. Ian Wright at the sharp end of things. Earning a corner. With the crowd behind Barthez' goal. Long, really clearing his lines with the header. Back from Gary Neville, but it's Gascoigne who's adjudged offside. Well, if you're going to have a rehearsal for a World Cup, yes, determination should be part of it. It's a fine line between that and misapplied aggression. Gascoigne. Trevor, you played in '85 in a similar sort of tournament in Mexico with England go there the following year. Was it this sort of intensity in the tackling? Can I push your memory back that far?
No, it wasn't. I remember the England-Italy game. I think possibly because of the conditions there, it was very, very hot. wasn't a very, very high-tempo game. Not too many particularly aggressive challenges. So this game has started off in cool temperatures, which obviously suits players, and it is very, very competitive. I think France, being the home side, they want to give a good account of themselves in front of their own supporters. I think they've surprised England with the speed in which they've pressed the ball. I think the other night against Italy, England were allowed to play, they had plenty of possession, they weren't really closed down by the Italians, but certainly tonight, France are closing the ball down very, very quickly.
Djorkaeff taking up a very good position again. The drop on Batty. This is Dugarry, and it had to be held cleanly by Seaman because Wedek was following in between any bits and pieces.
This was possibly the best chance they've had so far. They've had 2 or 3 shots from outside the box. Free shot for Dugarry. You would have expected a player of his ability to have done better.
England's turn to press and force the error. Beckham. Now the ball again could have been on to Phil Neville, but once more Beckham decided to keep it safe and simple.
Yes, he's trying his best, Phil Neville, to get forward, but not so easy tonight because he's got 2 players down this side. Obviously the French manager is aware of the threat of Phil Neville, so that's the reason I feel he's put Keller there. He's also got Legler just in behind him, so there are 2 players covering the runs of Neville.
And so Shearer, spotted by Deschamps. Well, England still looking for an attempt on the French goal.
Well, I suppose after 20 minutes it's a little bit too early to be analysing, you know, what England haven't done in front of goal, but you do feel, Martin, over the last 3 or 4 years that England have preferred, with Terry Venables and with Glenn Hoddle, to play with a link player just in behind the front player, whoever it may be up front. Tonight, of course, they've got the 2 out-and-out strikers, and I feel it's in that area that we don't have the player who can receive the ball just off the front man. That's something that we should keep our eye on for the remainder of this first half. We're asking Beckham and Gascoigne to try and get forward, as Beckham is at the moment. There's that link player, I feel, is the one who's missing at the moment.
Just when Glenn Hoddle was talking yesterday about taking a risk, and whether that was the risk.
Well, I feel that if Scholes had been fit tonight, undoubtedly he would have played, and he would have been the one that would have been asked to play in behind the front 2.
Dugarry doing very well. And there were 3 hoping in the centre that he might be able to cut the ball back. So England bring everyone back to defend the corner. And that was Thuram. They are strong and powerful, France.
Well, it's a corner we see so often on the continent, the one that swings away. Certainly Thuram attacked that ball, but couldn't quite get direction on the header.
It's also, of course, a big test this tournament for Glenn Hoddle, pitting his wits against seasoned international coaches, much older men than him. Maldini, 65 years old, so is Brazil's Zagallo. Aimé Jacquet, his opponent tonight at 55, still 16 years the senior of England's head coach. There's a lot of respect in France for Glenn Hoddle because of course his work as a player with Monaco. Djorkaeff. And there is also a lot of respect in this country. Southgate, a bit lucky that Deschamps slipped then. Allowed Batty to collect the ball. And that's France pushing up, and Ian Wright called offside. But for the absence of the linking player and the inclusion of Wright, I have to say that he's earned the right to have a game with Shearer, hasn't he, the way he's played against the South Africa and particularly Italy.
Well, I would have thought he's done better than Glenn ever anticipated. He's obviously got a high regard for him.
And here he is, Ian Wright, with a lot of space. trying to craft a pass there. Shearer makes sure the pass is possible, but it was never going to put Alan Shearer directly into goal. Now the ball bounces back, hits Shearer again, and it's a goal kick. It's almost as if Ian Wright was a bit respectful to Alan Shearer then. In that position, you might think for Arsenal, he might have gone on a glory trail of his own.
I think he actually chose the wrong option, Martin. He looked across the far side here and saw Shearer was clear, but if he had gone alone, he was one-on-one.
That was a deep ball by Legler that took out Sol Campbell. Wedek trying to take it first time, and the shot wasn't hit cleanly, but it's deflected behind for the corner.
Well, the look on Campbell's face, he was surprised the referee gave a corner here. Let's have a look for ourselves. Oh, there's no doubt about that. It's certainly a corner.
Laurent Blanc, very, very dangerous in the air, but he's watched well by Shearer.
It was an excellent defensive header from Shearer.
Keller trying to get the cross in. Almost 25 minutes played in Montpellier. Keller. Vieira. Sensibly done. Back to Legler. Oh, and Dugarry! Well, stronger contact then, and David Seaman might have found himself picking the ball out of the net.
Well, I have to say, David Seaman's got away with that, but he was very, very lucky. This is a clever ball into the box, played on the volley. Causes England plenty of problems. There it is, it's Blanc who plays it in. This is where Seaman comes for it, realises he can't get there. He's almost embarrassed with a header that almost went through his legs.
But England survive. Batty and Cyril Neville looking for somewhere to play it there. Philip Neville. The problem for Shearer and Wright was that France, who really pressed into an offside ploy against Brazil, were well up the pitch as a back line again.
Yes, they're holding a reasonably high line, and they're able to do that because of the midfield boys who are pressing the ball so quickly.
Another reason why Ian Wright was picked, Trevor. Space to run into might be there tonight.
I think the reason Ian Wright was picked was because of the fact that he's played so well in the 2 games and scored 2 goals in 2 games. He's picked himself.
Campbell. Shearer's gone offside this time. His movement to get back on. Wright running across the line. Phil Neville coming as well. Again, France get it right and England not quite, but there's surely going to be one occasion where England will get in.
Yeah, I think the 2 of them were offside there, Wright and Neville.
Deschamps. Legler. Aimé Jacquet determined to use the majority of his squad in this tournament.
Certainly a strong squad too, Martin, isn't it? We talk about England's strength and depth, but when you look at some of the players who he's omitted from this lineup tonight.
Legler. Well, he is one of the junior members of the squad and looking to make an impression in the position that Lizarazu did so well in against Brazil.
Yes, I don't think England mind too much Legler shooting from all of 35 yards. There has to be something special from that distance to beat David Seaman.
Djokovic. Southgate got it right. That wasn't easy to do. As if maybe the ball just got caught on the breeze. There is a feeling of rain in the air everywhere England have been recently. It's been wet and the players haven't minded that. It certainly helped in Poland on a very poor surface. But do anything to dampen the spirits and not. Goes Ngotti, who was the player who gave away the penalty in that European Cup Winners' Cup final recently, bringing down Ronaldo. Off Paris Saint-Germain, his club, the retaining of that trophy. And Gotti had scored the winning goal the year before. Phil Neville, the long throw. Barthez, well, made up his mind it would be his. Djokev. Here is Bruno Gotti, regarded as the best French-based defender. Many of the squad now are living outside of France. Here's Graham Lasso. Shearer right in the centre. Others waiting well outside the area like Beckham and Batty. And Gascoigne.
Yeah, England are struggling to get players forward into the box. Lasso was reluctant to put that ball in there because there's only two players, as you mentioned, Martin, Wright and Shearer.
Maybe one or two more might go in now because England have got a free kick. But they haven't. Shearer got the better of Blanc, but illegally, said the referee from Morocco, who was very close to judge the incident.
Certainly not in Alan Shearer's opinion.
Vieira. Been some good runs by Christophe Dugarry. But Sol Campbell saw him off that time. It'll be interesting to talk to the players afterwards, Trevor, and find out what they made of flying to a game on the day of the game. It was a genuine experiment by Glenn Hoddle, who used to fly around France as a player with Monaco and felt it never did him any harm.
Yes, I spoke to one or two of the press this morning. They were trying to make something of it. Asked me if I'd ever flown on the day of the game. Certainly know that one or two in the Premiership back home do it on the day of the game quite regularly.
Middlesbrough, one club that fly a lot.
And I suppose the fact that England have been rather poor, I would say, in the first half an hour, I suppose it may sort of suit them at the moment, because they can attach it to the fact that they travelled this morning. But I just think it's down to the French, who have really surprised England. They've been very, very quick to the ball, very, very aggressive. They've taken England by surprise.
Feeling the force of Philip Neville was Wedek.
But there are going to be times when you can't always play your football. But what's vitally important is that you don't concede. We've played 30 minutes so far, haven't looked like scoring. But it's fair to say that there's only been one occasion when France have looked like scoring.
L'Aigle. Vieira. Nicely done by Gascoigne. And Gotti was just across in the nick of time.
Excellent defending, wasn't it? Read the ball, played in behind into the channel where Wright wants it, quickly over, dispossessed Wright.
Lovely dummy by Wedek. He's got the ball back from Djokev. But this is France's problem. It's often been said that if they had a world-class central striker, an Alan Shearer, a Ronaldo, I know they don't grow on trees, but they would be definite candidates to win the World Cup.
Yeah, you're right, that was clever build-up play, but very good tackle from Gary Neville.
Alan Shearer's got some space here, but not for long, not for long enough. And Gotti lost him, got him.
I'll tell you, his speed of recovery is something else. He had to be quick there because that was an opportunity for Alan Shearer. And I think once again, Martin, the surprise at which they closed the way in which they closed that ball down is really surprising the England players. So quick and aggressive at closing it down.
Wedek. To work it with Dugarry. Happy to play on the break. Gascoigne. Right. Batty can win it back for England. Lasso. Shearer just pulling away from Blanc. And jumping with Legler. And Alan Shearer got the right man to compete against in the air there. It's a tremendous header though, and Barthez had to spring across to save it.
Good header and a good ball in from Lasso. Only 2 players of England in the box, but he picks out Shearer. He gets above Legler. That's a great header.
So some work for Barthez, and it's taken 34 minutes, but let's not forget that this is an away game. Most of the impact of playing Italy was really treated like an away result, but of course it was away for Italy as well, the neutral venue. And as we stressed on the night, Italy didn't arrive really with the bravado of players who'd come to fully compete. Let's take nothing away from England's performance, which was of a very high order. France certainly have been awaiting this tournament, having had no competitive games as the host nation. England found that difficulty, of course, with Euro '96, a series of rather insipid friendlies at Wembley. So they're enjoying the test of trying to win this tournament in their own country. But England have kept them at bay. We're 10 minutes away from half-time.
Yeah, just referring back to the other night, it's goals that changed the course of the game, and Di Matteo had a good chance early on, failed to take it. Once Wright put us in the league, there was no holding us.
Dugarry showing that danger in the air again, and it's not easy to outleap Sol Campbell. He did so.
Well, the threat before came from Lasso with a cross on the left-hand side. On this occasion, it's also on France's left-hand side from Legler. Good leap from Dugarry. Can't get it on target.
Gascoigne under a good challenge by Beckham.
Oh, I really should have played Lasso in. He was completely freed on the left-hand side. Gascoigne decided to go alone. Obviously didn't see Lasso.
Trevor, there was talk in Nantes after the game, and the Gascoigne was only on for a few minutes, so we must be fair to him in that respect. But when he was on, that England's pace through midfield slowed down the use of the ball. I'm not talking about his own personal pace, but taking more touches than England had been doing in that department. Did you subscribe to that view?
Just leave it there for a second. Once again, the ball is stopped by the French midfield players there. He wasn't on long enough, Martin, to really make any assessment. I think the game was already won. The only notable thing I suppose he did in that period was going into the book, but I don't think it was the time for judging a player with 15 minutes left.
Taken away by Lasso.
The whole structure of the side was different, wasn't it, the other night? We saw right up front the 2 players and Sheringham and Scholes continually coming back, getting the ball, looking to feet.
Sorry to cut across you there, Trevor, but David Beckham, who has been booked in this game and got a good telling off from Glenn Hoddle for reacting badly when he was booked in Nantes, was showing just a little temperamental weakness again. He was the first to admit in the press conference after the game that he is letting himself down in that respect, and had done it a few times for Manchester United in the second half of the season. But having said that, he's reacting then when he might have shown a cooler head.
He shouldn't have reacted there, but Dugarry was the culprit. The referee's got to get hold of that. He's pulled his shirt, did a little kick at him across his waist. The referee's got to spot that and book him.
Well, of course, there's another game from the Tournoi tomorrow. You'll see it live on Sky Sports. Back in Lyon, Brazil again against Italy. Very stung by the criticism that they got in their own country for their lack of performance against England, so you can expect a much more positive Italian effort. Join us for that tomorrow evening. Deschamps. And again. Both sides finding it hard to pick out the front players at the moment. enjoying it. John Gorman alongside there, Ray Clements as well. It's a coach's sort of game at the moment. Match of fine margins. So now Beckham. And certainly England have quietened the crowd, which is not always passionate in France. Frank Leboeuf was telling me in the week that France are looking for their 12th man for the World Cup. That is the support to really manifest itself. In Montpellier, there is a feeling that they are more aggressive and more passionate, the supporters. They're frustrated with the team, though, and worried about England's break here, which is a Gascoigne attempted pass for Philip Neville that doesn't come off.
No, I think that's been typical of England the first half. Their passing hasn't been as good as it was the other night.
But let's just think back, just over a week ago, the talk was whether England would qualify for the World Cup. Now, certainly over here, there's been major debate about how strong England are as contenders to win the World Cup itself. That's a giant leap. And of course, no one should truly get carried away with Italy away to come in October.
No, I would say playing against Italy, Brazil and France, if you come away from those 3 games unbeaten, you've got an excellent tournament. At the moment, we've beaten Italy, we're drawing here, so it's going very, very well.
Legler. Hopeful ball forward. Dugarry does enough to put Campbell off in the jump, but then fouled him as the chase developed. Beckham. Walk and Gotti finding that Shearer and Wright moved superbly together, and Ian Wright in front of goal found that Barthez, who played so well against Brazil, was able to keep out England's clearest opportunity so far.
Well, certainly the linesman got it right because they weren't offside. The French got it wrong. Excellent run from Shearer. And Gotti tries to play offside. Good awareness this from Shearer. He knew exactly where Wright was. And Ian Wright would have expected a score, but that's an excellent save from Barthez. Certainly the best save of the game.
Corner easily dealt with. Wedek trying to get it to Djurkaeff, his first touch on the stretch, to be fair to him. And he took the ball into the path of Gary Neville. In frustration, Djurkaeff bowled him over.
Well, undoubtedly Ian Wright will be annoyed with himself for missing that, but I think we have to give credit to the keeper Barthez. Put it down to an excellent save.
Beckham looking to Wright again. And Shearer and Wright were onside both times, weren't they? Certainly the first movement for Shearer, and when he played it to Ian Wright, Wright was level in the centre. So it was well worked by England, but in the end not well taken. Keller. Off Philip Neville for a corner to France.
I'm just saying, Martin, that's the downside of playing offside, of course. You only have to get it wrong once.
There from Campbell. He's had some problems with Dugarry. Djurkaeff with the corner. Legler. Well, it went through the crowd, but happily for David Seaman, it wasn't on target.
I don't know if you see this, Martin, but as Legler shoots here, just look at the 2 French players, the strikers completely unmarked. Dugarry and Wedek. You don't actually see it too clearly, but the mark wasn't too clever from the England defenders.
Complaining, and I understand it's about the ball itself that they feel is on the flat side. It was flattened then. Shearer by Vieira, who's got away with 2 or 3 robust challenges, to be kind to him. Deschamps does so much fetching and carrying for France. Vieira losing it. Shearer and slow snapping in. Be careful with the challenge here. switched the play well. And this is Yuri Djurkaev. Philip Neville. Oh, now the ball was surely played then.
That's never a foul. That's an awful decision from the referee. Sadly, the referee's not up to it, Martin. Gascoigne was fouled initially by Thuram. It broke away. That was a great tackle from Phil Neville.
Well, he is at least going to bow to England's request to change the ball. But Philip Neville with great speed. And he was the first to react, but other England players were around quickly. And England feel that they're getting the rough end of this. And in the 45th minute of the first half, a chance for France to show their paces at set plays.
Well, there's only one fellow who's going to take this, and that's Djurkaev. He can be very dangerous from this sort of distance.
Here is Djurkaev. And the flick came from Wadek. Seaman was stranded.
Once again, Martin, the mark in there was awful. How can Wadek be that free in his 6-yard box? He really should have scored.
L'Aigle. And France unable to sustain the pressure. And England, at the end of it, not punished by what we all felt was a refereeing mistake in awarding this free kick.
Just look at Wadek, completely free. That's clever play, that from Djurkaev. I don't think he went for goal there. He actually spotted him in that position. Plays it in with his right foot.
And he could be in that position because Gary Neville was guarding the post. And that was intelligent work all round from the French players. But again, and their fans will be furious, it lacked the finish. But here's Wadek, but he's 1 against 3. And Sol Campbell got it back to Seaman.
Well, Wadek, what he chose to do, Martin, was the little flick, but actually could have pulled the ball down with the instep of his right foot, swiveled and scored.
And so needs attention, and Deschamps recognised that and sportingly put the ball out. Well, the so came off at half-time, of course, in the last game. He's waiting for the referee to allow Gary Lewin and Alan Smith to come on.
Just hope that So goes off on the stretcher.
Oh, still flabbergasted by that. Maybe we missed something else, but that seemed to be what he was yellow carded for, David Beckham. There is the stretcher. And yeah, Graham So, who is an intelligent guy.
Here's the free kick again. I'm sure Djurkaev actually saw Wadek in that position, and look, that was a good goal-scoring opportunity. Completely unmarked. Should have scored.
Whether Graham Massot got a bang in the face there. There was an incident when he was chasing the play, and it's been a fierce first half. And as a rehearsal for what you might call more genuine competition, well, it's been more valuable experience for England. 0-0 at half-time, but it could have been 1-0 if Ian Wright had kept his goal-scoring run going with a set-up from Shearer, but he couldn't take the chance. David Seaman saved from Dugarry's header, and France have huffed and puffed without really threatening to break through. 0-0 at Montpellier at the break.
And there's a feeling that Paul Ince might be about to join the action. Just wondering, Ray, if that was the case. In what sort of role? To protect and look after a Beckham instead of a Beckham who's picked up his second booking now in this tournament?
I think the last 10 minutes or so, Richard, the French were actually getting at us through the centre of the field, and Glenn might feel that just to stick Paul in there to add a little bit more security to a back three might be slightly more advisable. We saw Djurkaev sprinting towards our box, and it was a wonderful tackle from Philip Neville, but unfortunately the referee called it a foul. But they got through on 2 or 3 of those occasions, and I think Glenn might be a bit worried that the centre of the field isn't that secure at the moment.
Have another look at Batty and Ince then, Barry. Would that be the idea? They were outstanding in Poland, weren't they?
Yeah, they're very solid. And, you know, away fixes, you know, you do well to get past them too. Whether they offer the same kind of options going forward, I don't think that's the case, but priority here, like we said before the game, is not to get beaten. If France is stepping it up a notch or two and Glenn feels as if they're threatening our back three, then this is the right move.
As you said, Ray, you're looking at it from a professional viewpoint. If you are sitting at home, you want to see a little bit more from England at this point, don't you?
Yes, you do. You want to see us attack more and have more opportunities on goal. But you're quite right in saying that we do look at it from a professional point of view, and we would say it's a very good result at the moment for us. But we want to see us attack a little bit more. I'd like to see us get on the ball a bit more. We were excellent against the Italians in doing that, and I'm sure if we do it here, we can be as good as we were the other night. This is a great pass here from David Beckham. Not often you see David use his left foot, but he picks out Alan Shearer wonderfully well there. Great awareness from Alan into Ian Wright. But that man Barthez again.
Score.
That was the kind of area where Ian Wright got his goal the other night, from the scores pass, the inside left channel.
We're joining our colleagues in France for coverage, which is what we're watching at the current time. An opportunity for the French. We're missing just before the interval. Not quite sure where these are being played to, these replays, Ray, but there's the opportunity for Ian Wright one more time.
Great movement off the ball initially from Alan Shearer. He took LeBlanc into the centre of the field and then span him and got round the back of him. But it was a good move all round.
And inches on, by the looks of it, we think, for David Batty. We can get that confirmed as we rejoin Trevor Francis and Martin Tyler.
Yes, Richard, I can confirm that Paul Ince is on for David Batty. It's two under the threat of a yellow card from the opening game. And France under threat, a bad back pass, Ian Wright. And it comes back from Lasso. This is Philip Neville. And England almost presented with a perfect start to the second half.
Good
Wright carried
situation.
his effort.
Good situation, Martin. They didn't really make full use of.
Good play in a creative sense that time by Shearer. Possibly handball by Phil Neville, and the referee has spotted that.
The linesman there, Martin, was stood 2 yards away as Phil Neville handled that ball. He didn't raise his flag. It's certainly a good start for England on the front foot. A lot more positive than what they were in the first half.
It is 48 years since England have beaten France in France. There's been 3 matches in that time, but the French have won all 3 of them. The most recent in this country was in 1984. Bobby Robson's England. And the French team that went on later that year to become European champions, so there wasn't too much disgrace in that 2-0 defeat in the Parc des Princes. Wedek. Straight away from Dugarry. Gary now. It's using the chest as a pass, and Gascoigne was being tugged, and he takes some retribution of his own then. The referee given the free kick, and Vieira smiles. Gascoigne recognises a smile, doesn't he? And he went straight across and shook his hand. If it had been a scowl, a different matter.
It's a good link-up play that between Ince and Gascoigne. Good chest control from Ince, knew exactly where Gascoigne was.
Gary Neville. Ian Wright busy further forward for England. To area covered by Ngotti. Behind Laurent Blanc, dealt with Shearer. Dugarry, he flicked it to the left then. Djorkaeff would have been in a very threatening position.
Yes, you're right. Neville chose to go and try and head the ball, but didn't really get near it. If Dugarry had got the header, Djorkaeff would have been in a lot of space.
Well, we talked about Keller operating on both sides, and he's going to at least start the second half on the right, having played on the left in the first half. Deschamps.
Yes, and it's no coincidence that the initial good start that England made in the second half came down our right-hand side. Gave Phil Neville the chance to get forward. He's only got one player to attack now rather than the two that he had in the first half.
McKellar doing some attacking of his own. And Lasso saying he played the ball. Referee saying otherwise and showing the card to Lasso. Trevor.
Well, I didn't think he did get the ball, but we'll see there. Well, you can't make your mind up on that. Certainly Lasso was very unhappy about it, even more so now, having got in the book.
So what will Djorkaeff come up with this time? Gotti is there. Legler just out of your picture to the left. Djorkaeff cleverly towards Blanc. And England were pushed to the limit then.
I'm not so sure that wasn't a penalty. Clever ball in from Djorkaeff. Did Shearer push Blanc? Well, he falls as if he's pushed, but I don't think he made any contact. Let's have a clearer look here. Oh, he's looking for the penalty.
He is. Laurent Blanc was beaten by just the height. It was a very good attempt to find him.
Could have been in trouble though if the ball had been played exactly as Djorkaeff wanted to be played, because Blanc got the run on Shearer.
Now Djorkaeff. By Southgate. And Deschamps, really the defensive-minded of the French midfield, allowing Djorkaeff a platform between them and the two up front, Dugarry and Wedek. Beckham, England stretched again though. And Seaman's kick, not one of his better efforts.
Well, I was going to say, his kicking in this game hasn't been his usual self.
Ian Wright covered a lot of ground actually to help out David Seaman and get underneath the ball as it dropped. Well, a wave going round the ground, and that's always a sign, isn't it, that the crowd is losing a bit of concentration. England will hope to keep their concentration. Vieira, well read by Ince, and Paul Ince, as he blocked off by Blanc. Get up, says the referee. Again, one or two England players turn away, feeling that they were on the wrong end of the decision. Beckham in particular, who must keep his emotions under control. Thuram. Vieira. Djorkaeff. Wedek able to turn, but not that amount of time to settle. Legler just got the ball as Ian Wright was trying to take it away at pace. Keller, who's gone back to the left-hand side. Probably, Trevor. Concerned himself with Phil Neville now. He's coming back to the right again. Ground that France come to very often. They are, like Italy, a nation that moves around the country, bringing the national team to the people. They played here last in 1990. There's one sense that a lot of the French fans had travelled almost as far as the English fans to get right down here to the south of France for this match that marks the halfway point in the Tournoi de France. Shearer. Ricochets back the way of the England captain. Early cross, aim for right. Easily dealt with by Thuram. Djorkaeff. Vieira. Keller. David Seaman deciding to go a long, long way. Not an easy take, dropping over the shoulder.
It is for that man.
Beckham.
Well, the idea was good, wasn't it? Excellent run again from Wright, looking for the ball in the space behind. Just need a little bit more on it, the ball from Beckham.
Well, contact there between Gary Neville and Dugarry. referee saw of sinister nature, really. Not too daunting, but Dugarry has earned his side a free kick.
Yeah, and it's free kicks that have presented the biggest problem for England.
Once again, Yuri Djorkaeff to take charge of it. And Sol Campbell to stoop to steer it at least a few yards away. Vieira might have got a free kick that time, but the referee says no. As he looked to take on Southgate, the Arsenal man. What a French team Arsenal have become now, with a couple of more signings by Arsene Wenger. 5 Frenchmen, I think, at Highbury next season. And still a few more weeks for the manager to maybe even add to that. It's a free kick given against Ngotti. A free kick to England, which Gascoigne takes short to Ince. Phil Neville. Beckham. Now it's not so easy for England to keep possession the way they did against Italy, but they've put some passes together this time. Blanc, that was a bit sloppy. And Shearer at least seized on it, and although he didn't hit the shot hard and true, he's got a corner.
No, he was a bit fortunate to get the corner, really, because he was quickly onto it. A mistake from Blanc. Tries to shoot, taken him by surprise, doesn't get hold of it, but he wins the corner.
So the camera picks out Shearer. I don't know whether the corner will. Trying to force his way to the ball, but France cleared their lines, and they've got Keller at pace. Redek steaming into the centre. Djorkaeff's already there. Seaman deflects it. Gascoigne almost lost it. And Campbell picks out a fine ball for Wright, who's got a good bit to do here. And he's got a free kick.
You just feel with Ian Wright there's a reluctance to go forward and attack the last man. Certainly got a lot of pace, and I think in that situation there against Laurent Blanc, he'd be better advised trying to take him on.
Lasso. To reconstitute the old Blackburn connection. I'm sure got a lot of goals in the Premiership from that type of ball from Graham Lasso.
Seaman elects to come in catch. He's put under pressure there. Could have been a foul by Djorkaeff. Certainly Gascoigne should have cleared his lines here. He actually loses it in his own penalty box. For me, that's a free kick. Djorkaeff hasn't intended to go for the ball.
Redek. And a corner for France. Djorkaeff in a hurry to take it. Laurent Blanc strode forward. Goes short to Dugarry. Djorkaeff. Vieira coming right round the back. The assistant referee saying that the ball had gone out. Shearer keeping Blanc in his sights. There was a bit more contact maybe that time than in the earlier incident.
Yes, he grabbed his shirt, but I think 9 out of 10 times in the penalty box you can get away with that.
Well, England's patience being tested to the full by the officiating tonight. A referee who is fluent in French, but I understand rather faltering in English. Not too much difference on the foul count. Towards the hour mark. It's been a test of England defensively, as I'm sure Glenn Hoddle expected. He would have hoped for more creative play. And that was a pass that maybe actually had right offside. A close one to call, but the flag did stay down. It was Beckham who spun superbly to drill it through.
It was a great ball with his left foot. You're right, Martin. Right was a yard offside, but I think the pass surprised the French defence as it surprised the linesman. That's why he didn't flag for offside.
There's a corner. A gesture from Gary Neville. Knowing him, he would be annoyed with himself rather than David Seaman for being able to deal with a ball that really flew off the elder Neville. So, a corner for France. And Djorkaeff. England push out. Keller. Now Vieira. Still only 20. Legler. Gotti. Nice little pass, and England happy about that. Gotti very pleased to be called into the side on this ground where he's telling everyone he's never lost club football. Montpellier, the local team, incidentally, finished absolutely mid-table, 10 out of 20 in the French First Division. Manchester United came here on that run towards the Cup Winners' Cup success in the 1991 season. And won the game, and Paul Ince actually played this pitch then. Campbell cut it out. Clean first touch, but he's got a free kick, and England might have been allowed to go on then.
Attention sur le côté, attention sur le côté.
Not sitting down in a relaxed fashion now, the England head coach. Beckham trying to find Shearer. And this is Djorkaeff. Oh, and having taken it that far, the pass had to be right. He had an opportunity to release Vieira a bit earlier than that.
That was a good situation for France, 2-on-1 against Campbell. Djorkaeff should have done better.
It's Gascoigne. And again. Phil Neville always wanting to push on down that right-hand side when the situation dictates. Shearer. Barthez knew where his left-hand post was. Barthez wouldn't probably have played in this tournament, but for the recent ban to the #1 Lamar. Rene Jacquet denied his services. Lamar failed a drugs test and had a suspension the like of which Barthez had to serve himself last season.
Bit of movement, Martin, on the French dugout, not unexpected.
Dugarry! What a try! A dipping volley that didn't quite dip enough for the French striker.
Certainly that was unexpected too. Waste no time here, falls to him on the volley. Once again, that element of surprise. Could have dipped in.
Christophe Dugarry, in 18 previous internationals, has only scored twice. Nearly added to that. Wedek goes off. Patrice Loco. That's his first taste of the Tournoi. Loco also of Paris Saint-Germain, who of course beat Liverpool in that semi-final of the Cup Winners' Cup, just at the two legs. Tourelle. So Aimé Jacquet again exploring his options up front. The Wedek-Dugarry combination not bringing a goal. Thuram. Dugarry! Well, he outmuscled Gary Neville to get the header in. And England have found him difficult to deal with right from the off.
Well, Gary Neville makes no attempt to actually head the ball, he just stands his ground. Dugarry gets the header in. Good ball in this from Thuram. Nice pace, curling away.
Well, there's talk of Christophe Dugarry leaving Milan and going to Barcelona. The problem is Barcelona want to hang on to Ronaldo. That saga goes on and on and on, and Inter think they've signed him. Barcelona refuse to let him go. It may be that FIFA will have to intervene. At the moment, Alan Shearer remains the most expensive player in the world. Dugarry's career is slightly on hold because of the hiatus involving Ronaldo. Here's Gascoigne. Did that well. Phil Neville. Beckham. France working hard to make it difficult for England to provide the right sort of penetrating passes from midfield. Ince. Oh, and Thuram just got to that, to the disappointment of Shearer, who was all alone behind him and onside. Beckham again. It's over Thuram this time, and Shearer got to it, and once more Barthez comes up with a top-class save.
What a fantastic ball in that was with Beckham. He drives this to perfection onto the head of Shearer. Thuram can't get it. And really, we expected Shearer to score with that. It is a good save. We've come to expect these sort of balls nesting in the back of the net. It's a good chance.
As we look at that again, Paul Ince has given the ball away in England's midfield, and it looked as though France would really benefit from that. But England rallied round, and now I hoped that Shearer was onside, but he's not. And England looking for a goal if they were to win here tonight. And a draw against Brazil in Paris would win the competition. Van Hoddle and his players.
Well, he had to head it back across the goal, didn't he, to the far post. Fortunately, he got it too central and allowed Barthez to make the save. What a great ball that was from Beckham.
We've seen the first one fall short. Beckham was determined to get to Shearer with his drilled effort. And here is Alan Shearer with Lasso racing infield. Shearer switching the play to Phil Neville. To Gascoigne, can't get free. Let's get back to stop Dugarry in possession for France. Campbell. Right, Shearer through the centre this time. Gascoigne right in that half-and-half position, so favoured by Sheringham. Shearer onside, right likewise. Beckham going near post. Cross doesn't come. Keller complaining that the cover wasn't right.
Good little spell this for England, the best of the game. Stringing some good passes together. That was a good opportunity again.
Phil Neville getting to it, but he can only put it out of play. It allows England to regroup. Now getting Campbell, who's gone up for the corner. Okay. The time in the game, Trevor, well, we often notice in Premiership matches where games, when they've been tight like this, tend to open up. Fatigue sets in. And it's creating chances in the last 10 minutes or so. Right.
So just hope we don't overcommit, because that's the danger. It's so quick, France, on the counter-attack.
Deschamps. Thuram. Vieira. give and go maybe off the front man there. Deschamps would have played it, actually stayed where he was. He only had players in a line with him. It's impossible to find them. Tournoi, Kelly. Now Vieira. Djorkaeff. Sense the crowd expected more from him.
Yes, you can sense that the patience is running out. And also, every time Djorkaeff gets possession of the ball, he's greeted with whistles from the crowd. Slightly surprising.
Well, the debate, as I say, has been going on because Zidane has been saying he'd like to play with Djorkaeff, and Jacquet indicated he wants Djorkaeff to play forward, and he'll hurt the opposition, even if he's not an out-and-out striker, by getting into the last third of the field. He doesn't want to see him picking the ball up on the halfway line all the time. Made that point quite clear in a press conference yesterday. Here is Djorkaeff. Sending Keller on a scamper, and you have to say that's an unnecessary free kick to concede for Sol Campbell.
Yes, and it was a free kick. Deep into the corner flag. Well, he was looking for it, wasn't he? The faintest of touches, over-exaggerated, wins a free kick. And he certainly wasn't in that position. It was much nearer to the corner flag.
And Rousseau trying to tell the referee. Now Rousseau has been booked, so he can't continue this debate for any length of time at all, and it's going to be taken from the wrong position by Djorkaeff. Southgate's header. Legler! That's a great shot, and David Seaman showed why he is England's #1.
Was a good save. But great connection from Legler on the volley with his left foot. Certainly was going in. Seaman watches it all the way.
England had to watch the corner all the way as Vieira came in at the far post. Complaints that there was a push. But Legler couldn't have hit it better, really.
Well, this time we'll see it, and it is a good save from Seaman. Punches it over with his right hand.
England have got to maintain their defensive discipline here, and Shearer doing his bit. There is Zidane, who was very, very weary, he said, after the Brazil game. The effects, the end of the season with Juventus, his club, and of course the bitter disappointment of losing the European Cup final to Borussia Dortmund. Very wanting to go and get the ball to get the game restarted. Time really where you might be thinking about man of the match. And this is the number 0891 111101.
Let's return to the discussion about Djorkaeff. I think it's been a problem also for Roy Hodgson this season, Martin, at Inter Milan, knowing exactly where to play him. Do you play him off the front striker? Do you play him behind the front two? It's very, very difficult getting a team shape. As good a player as he is very, very talented. But the shape of the team is so important. I think it's been a problem for Roy all season.
Here's Vieira. Here's the player we're talking about, Djorkaeff. Back to Vieira, Loco involved as well. Loco, I'm not referring to Gascoigne. That's Gascoigne's pass. It's a super pass for David Beckham. In right, to his right, Beckham has the shot. And Barthez puts the ball away very quickly. Keller for Patrice Loco. Chance here, Djigari lets it run. There was actually no one who was going to benefit from that for France, but Ince wasn't to know that.
Well, there were chances there at both ends within the space of 30 seconds. And undoubtedly the best chance fell to David Beckham, who wasn't really positive enough. Good run from Loco, good pullback, but no colleague to finish it off.
Well, Djorkaeff getting plenty of corner-taking practice. Vieira. The whistle's gone in England's favour.
Great ball that was from Gascoigne. Excellent time run from Beckham, beat the offside trap, but he's in two minds. He thinks about it. By the time he decides to go alone, it allows the defender to come over and put him under pressure.
Been too many occasions where maybe Beckham's elected to get ahead of the ball like he did there. And Gascoigne found him with a prime pass. Gascoigne, what's going to befall him next? Because he got injured so early in Poland last Saturday, and then had been hurt so late against South Africa in England's previous game, gave a new meaning to the term injury time, the time in which he was injured, the 93rd minute. So having to chase, well, not chasing him, he's given up on his own header. What will England's policy be for this last 15 minutes or so? I think, as Ray Wilkins said at the top of our programme, a draw would be regarded as a very good result here.
Well, this is the chance that Beckham had. Just slightly delayed it. Allowed Ngozi to get over to put him under pressure. Not really a problem for Berthez.
Well, the substitution is for France, and there was a worrying moment for Alan Shearer because the number 9 board, the light went up on the board, and it is Dugarry, the French number 9, who's going off. And on comes Zidane to play with Djorkaeff. And David Beckham is being replaced with 15 minutes to go. England do make their change. Rob Lee, who's been doing so well on his return to the international setup, scored against South Africa, set up Teddy Sheringham late on for England's second in Poland. But in that game, what a crunching blow on a toe kept him out of contention for the game against Italy. He's fine again and delighted to be in the fray again. Djorkaeff trying to go it alone. Again, Gascoigne backing his ability on the ball, close to his own penalty area. And the outcome was a throw to France. Zidane. Here's Vieira. In the game, fatigue sets in and discipline becomes that much more difficult. Zidane looking to force it through. Campbell's ball. Oh, and Ian Wright was unlucky. It's been that sort of evening for him, really. Blanc. Vieira. Zinedine Zidane looking for Djorkaeff. She went through to Loco. So with Zidane on, Djorkaeff will be has to be at least a supporting striker to Patrice Loco.
Oh, he was unlucky there, Robert Lee. Timed his run perfectly. Nobody went with him. If the flick had just fallen to him, he would have been through.
Thuram was on the same wavelength to Loco. Couldn't really have run in there without being offside.
I have to say that Thuram does look like a central defender playing in a right-back position.
Lee and Ince being brought on. Here's Shearer looking for Rob Lee's run. Corner for England. Ben Hoddle going even further towards reconstituting the side that played in Poland, that started the game in Poland.
What Laurent Blanc is complaining about is the run from Robert Lee. but none of his midfield colleagues attempted to go with him. Found England in a situation 3-on-2.
So taking the corner, Barthez, who doesn't look the biggest of goalkeepers, certainly has an athletic spring. Produced the catch. Zidane. That's Paulitz, timing the tackle very well indeed. Legle produced that stunning shot. Stretched Seaman so much. Lee. Ball was actually touched off the pitch there by Teddy Sheringham, who was going to get the chance to touch it on the pitch. And another of the heroes of Katowice. So Ian Wright goes off.
Out, 20-yard right.
Textbook stuff from Barthez, who's actually a fan of the game of rugby, brought up in that part of France where the game is strong, and well as the game almost played it at a high level, so really able to use his hands. Another reminder for you of what's happening on Sky Sports football-wise tomorrow night from Le Tournoi, from Lyon. Brazil against Italy. It's so many great games between those nations down the years. Sheringham. Well, Trevor, do you feel that in taking Ian Wright off, that it's just a case of Wright being tired, or Glenn Hoddle wants to get back to the type of player that Sheringham is and Wright isn't?
We'll see that in the next game, Martin. I think that undoubtedly England, in my opinion, are better with the striker just off the front. That's not to say that Ian Wright has played poorly, of course. He's done very well over the last 3 games he's played for England.
Alan Shearer enjoys playing with Teddy Sheringham. Sheringham doing enough not to get to the ball himself, but it came off the defender who was marking him. More progress for England. Not the so this time, but Gascoigne going across to take the corner. England fans behind the goal, but England are attacking. Hoping to see something special from Ben Hoddle's team at this set play. Sheringham deflected, I think. Gascoigne kidded that he was going to play it to Robert Lee and picked out Sheringham instead.
What a great attempt this is by Sheringham. Difficult ball to hit. He does so well. Thought for a moment a deflection and actually gone into the net.
Claiming another deflection there, but it is a goal kick. There was a spell midway through the second half when France were just beginning to put some pressure together, but England, I must say, coped with that well, looking to finish strongly themselves, and it just struck Legle, didn't it?
Don't think it would have gone in, but certainly deflection could have taken it in.
It's Legle who goes off for Lizarazu, who played so splendidly against Brazil and is being courted by a number of clubs. He plays actually for Athletic Bilbao, top division in Spain at the moment. Phil Neville. Lizarazu quickly down to business. 7 minutes left. Zidane.
Good tackle again by Phil Neville. Great recovery. Lizarazu had 2 or 3 yards on him, but he's so quick in his recovery. Well, he's not given a free kick.
There weren't so many protests from England that time. They're concentrating on dealing with it rather than disputing it. Seaman opts to fist it away. taken by Zidane. Blanc. Vieira. Well, that would have been something to crow about back at Highbury if that had flown into the top corner.
David Seaman, they're just having a little complaint. I think the complaint's about over the far side when Zidane got it too easy possession. Inst as well there, comes out quickly, closes down Vieira.
Shearer. Blanc trying to carry it forward, almost took himself into trouble, but with the help of Deschamps and Vieira, and then Djorkaeff Zidane. That was as purposeful a move, really, as the French have put together in a direct fashion, but Zidane, in whom they have so much faith here, couldn't round it all off with a decent strike.
Good interplay, wasn't it, from Djorkaeff and Zidane? But once again, similar situation to what we saw in the first half. Not under any real pressure, but snatches at the shot.
Lizarazu. Shearer to Sheringham. And they've got players flooding into the centre. Sheringham's cross, and it deflected. Oh, and a goal for Alan Shearer! A mistake by Barthez. Shearer on hand, and England are in front again. Well, the captain stands tall and proud. Sheringham, inevitably, it seems, when the two are in tandem, had a part in it. But the goalkeeper spilt it, and Shearer scores.
Well, the goalkeeper should be locked up. Dreadful goalkeeping, but it's only what England deserved in the second half. They've been the better side. Give credit to Shearer. He doesn't give it off. He's on the spot. He reacts quickest to the mistake. Similar goal to what France scored against Brazil. On that occasion, it was Keller reacted quicker than anybody else. On this occasion, it's the costliest player in world football, Alan Shearer, who hopefully has got the winning goal for England.
Here's Zidane. Lizarazu. Oh, so misjudged that. Kept in play by Keller. Well, 3.5 minutes to go. Here's Sheringham. Zidane. Vieira. Now Keller. France, 16 home games unbeaten, going into tonight's encounter with Ben Hoddle's England. Well, the England supporters, not too many of them in the stadium, but really making their jubilation heard.
Once again, Martin, it was the SS pair, wasn't it? Sheringham and Shearer. They've got that all-important goal for England. Wasn't a great cross from Sheringham. It was a good run to find the space on that right-hand side. Lizarazu actually got a little bit of a block on the cross. But certainly Barthez should have done better in goal.
Here's Keller. Blanc. Deschamps. Zidane bowled over, but the ball was certainly played by Shearer. Thuram. Well, that was ambitious. He's got a bit lucky, Lilian Thuram. Although that must have been a deflection off one of his teammates.
Yes, it came off the foot of Loco. They can't call for a corner there.
Well, the man of the match is on the viewers' vote, David Seaman. But Alan Shearer, 11 goals now in his last 11 games for his country. Player who scored on his international debut against France at Wembley, February 1992. And scores again at the expense of the French here tonight. And England have just got to keep it tight in the few seconds that remain. But here's Didier Deschamps. Shearer gets there, and in the circumstances, that fits the bill.
Well, our away record, Mars, at the moment, it's really proven to be something fantastic, isn't it? Continue to score away from home, and also very, very difficult to penetrate. 1 minute away for another clean sheet.
Vieira. Tournoi. France not finished yet. Rocco. Kelly. Came back from a goal down against Brazil. Not going to do it like that against England. And they've got precious little time in which to do it. Happily from England's point of view.
Easy catch this for Seaman. No one attempts to go in to attack it. And that's a problem for the French, Martin. If they're going to do well in this forthcoming World Cup, they've got to find themselves a goal scorer.
Well, England have got themselves one, haven't they? And he's not the only one. The foul by Shearer as we go into stoppage time. Martez has to kick it quickly to try and help his teammates make up for his error. Joker. Vieira plays to the left for France. From Deschamps to Lizarazu. Keller, who's certainly got an eye for goal. Made a good run to attack that ball.
Yes, it's important that Lasso went with him. Made good contact.
England funnel back. Tournoi. Found Loco. Only be forced away though from the danger area. Ince gets to it in torpedo fashion. Blanc. Good first touch to sweep it wide. Second minute of stoppage time. England a goal to the good and homing in on another win. Gascoigne.
Just have to try and keep possession there. That was once again an excellent challenge from Phil Neville.
Such an excellent pass, but Gascoigne on the scene. Unable to get away.
He's got to keep possession there. Sheringham and Shearer both made good runs for him.
Zidane. Last thrust maybe for France. Rocco moving well again. Keller. Djorkaeff in the centre.
He's the only player, Djorkaeff, in the penalty box there. 1 minute to go, desperate for a goal. They've got one player in the box.
They've got one or two more arriving now. That was Vieira running it goalwards. There's a break on for England here. Gascoigne, if they need to exploit it.
Just got to keep the ball. No need to force the issue. They've got the go, just keep a hold of it. That's good play.
England win again. Alan Shearer scores again. Very, very late on. Sheringham's cross, it did take a deflection. That unsettled Barthez, who'd been otherwise excellent, but a mistake like that has cost his side the game. 6 successive victories for Glenn Hoddle's team now. And tonight they send the host nation to only their second defeat in 36 internationals and their first on home soil under Aimé Jacquet. The value of the experience of this competition is considerable, whatever the results. But 2 wins in Le Tournoi, a terrific bonus, 6 points, and way out on top of the table. And now, Trevor, a draw against Brazil on Tuesday would mean Le Trophy.
Well, I said before the game that a draw would be good enough for us. We've kept the clean sheet, we've gone one better than that. One of the outstanding strikers is in the picture there in world football, has done it again. And whenever you've got a player who can score goals like he can, you've always got a chance of winning a football match.
Well, England had to defend for periods, they certainly had to compete, and they would have expected that in another test of their away resolve, and how successful that has been. Wins in Moldova, in Georgia, in Poland, in Nantes against Italy, and now here in Montpellier against France, and not one goal conceded along the way. You've been getting postcards from Andy Gray, but England's message home from France is quite simple. We're having a wonderful time. France 0, England 1, Nick Collins.
Thanks, Martin. I've got Alan Shearer and David Seaman down here. Alan, you left it late, but good value in the end, weren't you?
Yeah, it was. I thought we'd done tremendously well, but for the first 10 or 15 minutes where we had a little bit of a shaky spell to settle down, there was chances at either end, but I thought we had the better of them, and at the end of the day, I think we deserved to win.
A patient performance, and yet you did, as you say, create some very good chances, didn't you?
Yeah, once again, we've been tremendously solid at the back with the back five or the back three and Big Dave here. But I've had a header, tremendous save in the first half. I should have put one in the second half, and the keeper's dropped one there, and I managed to tap it in at the end. So a tremendous performance again, very solid, created chances and deserved the win.
Well, David, I mean, you weren't in the action that often, but you did have to pull off a couple of amazing saves, especially the one from the volley.
Yeah, that's right. I saw it late, but I got a good hand on it. But I'd just like to say the lads defended brilliant. That was like Poland. Great defending. Limiting them to their chances. Like Alan says, we had some good chances.
2 wins out of 2. You're nearly there now, aren't you, to win the actual tournament?
Yeah, I think we're enjoying it now. And we're all looking forward to Tuesday, get the Brazilians on there.
Alan, a different kind of performance, but given that this was in France with a difficult crowd and everything, how good a performance is this, do you think?
Well, we've come to France on their home territory, as you say. They've been beaten once in over 90 minutes in 35 games, so it was never going to be easy. It was a tough game, and once again, we've had a tremendous foundation to build on with the back five and Dave there, and that enables us to hit teams on the break now and create chances like we did.
How much now is the whole team going to be looking forward to playing Brazil with 2 wins under your belt in this tournament?
Well, we look forward to to watching the game tomorrow, Brazil and the Italians, and I think if that's a draw, the Italians maybe win, then we've got a good chance of winning the tournament.
Well, let's hope so. Alan, David, well done. Thanks very much.
Yeah, bring them on, Brazil. We want them. What a way to finish for England. 2 wins in this tournament. We'll look back on the highlights with Ray and Barry very shortly. We've got Georgia and Moldova coming up as well, that World Cup qualifier between the two. So plenty still to come.
When you love someone, you've got to trust them. There's no other way.
Don't have Ciro Ferrara, who is out through injury. It's the world's most successful footballing nation against the 3rd most successful. And this man, Roberto Carlos, has had the schools of soccer and science scratching their heads at his wizardry in the opening match here. And everyone comes in anticipation that he might be able to do the same again. The man in charge is Serge Mumenthaler from Switzerland. And Brazil will kick off towards the end where Roberto Carlos produced that magnificent piece of wizardry. Ronaldo and Romario, what a strike force. Ronaldo and Romario, 2 of the 7 players in this Brazilian squad who ply their trade abroad. This is Dunga, who plays in Japan, and that's the newcomer to the team, Denilson.
Well, I've just switched to 2 midfield players by the looks of it. And I'm just looking at Leonardo. He's taken a pretty advanced position early on in this match. Don't know whether they're going to try and change him. He didn't quite get involved as much as he would have liked against the French.
Here's Di Matteo to Vieri, and now Del Piero looking to trigger off a move from Vieri. Dino Baggio. And Roberto Carlos turned it away. It comes off Lombardo for a Brazilian throw-in.
Well, the Italians are exactly as we thought. Lombardo's certainly playing right side, Maldini left. They're going in with Costa Curta as the spare man, and I think they've got to do that. When you play against Romario and Ronaldo, I think the Italians will like that safety valve of Costa Curta just 10, 15 yards behind at times.
You wonder just how much of a smokescreen all the quotes from Paolo Maldini that he was to play on the right actually were. This is Mauro Silva. This is Dunga, the man who scored what was effectively the winning penalty kick in the World Cup final, which Brazil won 3-2 on kicks after a goalless draw following 120 minutes. Dunga again. Mauro Silva, another of the players who played at Pasadena Rose Bowl. The foot of Danielson was high, and it's an Italian free kick. Here's Del Piero. Maldini's made a burst from the back.
That's going to be a great area to watch. Maldini against Cafu. I thought the first half against the French, Cafu was unbelievable in getting forward. And that might just be a battle of wills. Who's going to be the bravest? Who's going to run who back?
Del Piero to try and test Tapparel with his corner. First corner of the game. Lombardo going in to challenge the goalkeeper. And while Tapparel's handling might not always look the safest, that was a good clean punch clear.
Well, it might be without Zola. Del Piero showed us there's another in this Italian squad who can bend corners into a really dangerous area. It's only inches away. In the end, it's good goalkeeping, but he was scrambling for just a second.
Aldair, who plays his club football in Italy with Roma. Flick was from Danielson. To Gianluca Pagliuca, who welcomed the opportunity to re-establish himself back in the first team. Maldini. Del Piero. This is Lombardo. And the challenge from Roberto Carlos gives Italy a throw-in. Dino Baggio joining Del Piero and Vieri in the box for the throw. Mauro Silva trying to hold off Baggio and Del Piero. This is Panucci. Dunga. He rode Del Piero's challenge well, and he made up a lot of ground, Dunga. And this is Leonardo, Romario and Ronaldo both waiting.
Ronaldo was the ball. I think that's what he tried to get. I was going to say it might have sat up for him. Just maybe indicating it was just running away from him a little. First bit was brilliant. The way he just tricked Panucci wide, just sucks him in, and it's only the deftest of touches and he's away. And from then on, he's always having a little look, looking up. Nothing blind here, he's having a look all the time. Sees Ronaldo coming in back post. I think that's who he's trying to feed it to. It does just sit up. Amazing. The surface is beautiful. But that sat up for him just at the wrong moment.
Leonardo was part of the Brazilian squad at the World Cup, but didn't actually make the final. This is Di Matteo. Dunga. Roberto Carlos has made a useful run, but Lombardo had tracked him all the way. Tilio Lombardo, who was only called up to the squad when Di Francesco was required by his club for the relegation playoff. There's Leonardo. Lombardo playing for the goal kick, which he won. Brazil 4 times World Cup winners to the 3 that Italy have managed, and one of them was when the World Cup was staged here in France back in 1938, and they actually beat Brazil in the semi-finals. Vieri, Lombardo, Di Matteo in space to his left calling for it, Dino Baggio and Dunga in the way.
Great example there. We're often talk about Brazilian skill and flair. Dunga, vast experience. The ball dropped in an area where he didn't want to just pull it down. Even the best players in the world are not shy in putting their foot through it if that's what's required.
Brazil who were on a really successful roll approaching this tournament until their last game before it, when they suffered that defeat against Norway 9 days ago that really shook them up. Vieri looking for Del Piero, and Italy break through and get the lead after 6 minutes, and it's the man restored to the starting lineup who's got it, Alessandro Del Piero.
Yeah, he gets the goal, but Vieri did all the work. An absolutely magnificent cross. And all it was saying was, please put me in. He makes a good run, first and foremost. And then he just comes back on his left side, very, very left-sided. Doesn't look, I'm putting it into the danger area. Not good covering by Cafu. Del Piero's on the inside of him. And I'll tell you what, it's an easy header from there. Down, gives Taffarel no chance. 6 yards out. Great start for the Italians.
And it was the Juventus front two that did the trick for Italy. Casiraghi and Zola displaced tonight by Vieri and Del Piero, and it's that combination that has given Italy the lead here in Lyon. And now a Brazilian free kick.
Great skill here. That's just crude from Baggio, to be fair.
Guess who's going to take it?
He's not going to shoot from there, is he? Put it past him. Nah, not the way he's shaping up.
It's Roberto Carlos with a kick. Dunga. Aldair. Roberto Carlos again. Blocked by Lombardo. For all the talk that there was about Roberto Carlos' spectacular free kick here last week, there was a lot of disenchantment at home that Brazil didn't manage to hold on to the lead it established. And there'll be further disenchantment if they fail to beat Italy here tonight. Very important month ahead for the Brazilians. Straight off the back of this tournoi, they go into the Copa America, their first game in that competition, 3 days after they face England in Paris.
I think that's fair. I mean, to be for the Brazilians, I think that is something they are aiming towards. I mean, and this is a tournament that I'm sure Zagallo is using to try 1 or 2 things out, experiment just a little. Given success here and success in the Copa America, I know what they'd choose.
Here's Vieri, Del Piero again in the box. Can they combine again? Off target this time, but yet again Vieri set up the opportunity for him.
I think it's just typical of what I felt he could get at this defence. I said it right at the top, and I think the Italians are showing us where. It's in between full-backs and centre-backs. They get caught forward a little, the full-backs. I think Vieri did brilliant there. That time he just didn't cross it blind. He had a little look up. You see him looking now. Where's my mate? He says, where is he? And he plays a super ball to him. This is a disappointing finish. Looks trying to guide it in, just comes off the shin a little. This is a bright start from the Italians. They press well when they haven't had the ball. They made the Brazilians play quickly. And then when they've had the ball, they've had a threat.
Well, there were a lot of questions asked at Juventus when they saw the departures of Ravanelli and Vialli at the start of last season, but Vieri has really made a name for himself over the campaign, and here he is with his club mates, producing the goods at international level. Dunga. This is Danielson. Looking to shape it up for Ronaldo, and Costa Curta was hoping that it would run out.
Almost. Decent bit of bright play that time. He's got some pace, the lad. When the ball was played in, I thought no chance, but such is the pace that Costa Curta knew he had to go over and deal with it, and he's right, Ronaldo, it was a corner.
Of course, Ronaldo could be playing against many of these players next season. But the move to Inter Milan looks like being a protracted one. Foul was by Panucci on Romario.
That's sloppy, isn't it? There's a little example for kids, even the best